The last 6 months or so, I've really needed to just be listening to silence, becoming present, and that's accelerating what you're doing. You're not absent from it. This is part of the way that you can accelerate it as well. The other thing I wanted to bring up, the way that they give me the books, it's reminiscent, and I think this might help listeners to relate to it. Edgar Cayce was known to be able to, they would put a book under his pillow at night, and he would have all the knowledge from that book in his head the next day. He didn't have to read it. And this is very similar in terms of what happens in the out-of-body travel state. We have a perception of activity, meaning we're doing something of value in our culture, where sometimes when we lay our head down to sleep and we just allow God or the universe to actually act upon us, that may be much more fruitful than anything we think up at times. That doesn't mean don't listen to what you want to listen to or do your thing, but there is a place for silence and allowing God and realizing that acceleration sometimes is turning everything off and letting God do it, and not thinking that we're in charge, and because that's what we kind of do. You know, we put so much input that we almost block this phantasmically greater input that could alter things in a much more distinctive and much more meaningful way, because we feel it's doing nothing. It's actually sometimes the only way we can do something of deep significance and value, by allowing it to come into us. Goes back to what I've always said in many of my interviews and in my books, which is when you're experiencing out-of-body travel, don't make the mistake of thinking that you want to set an intention of, I'm going to go here or I'm going to go there, because God knows much better where you need to go and what you need to see than you could know. There are so many things that we don't know even exist. We wouldn't even think up. It's kind of along the same lines where we limit ourselves, not realizing that that's what we're doing by not allowing God to do the forming. And so there's a place for all those things, but there's also a very important place for the silence and that acceleration that comes from God alone.